What's up? My name's Jackson, and we just finished the last six games in the group stage of the World Cup. Panama versus England, Croatia versus Ghana, Colombia versus Portugal, DR Congo versus Uzbekistan, Algeria versus Austria, and Jordan versus Argentina. And there were some bangers today, some banger moments at least. Going into it, England versus Panama. England had a big task in that it had to break the curse that was on Harry Kane. I genuinely believe that they did curse him, and the curse probably couldn't be broken until somebody else scored a goal. Because you'll notice Harry Kane had a million crazy miss attempts. Like he hit so many almost goals, and they were like insane that they didn't go in. Insane circumstances. And then, 10, 15 minutes into the second half, they do score, not Harry Kane, but England, and then literally like 5, 10 minutes later, Harry Kane scores. And so the big task today, I felt, was not beating Panama. Panama was already out. England had already basically secured its spot, I believe. The big task was scoring a goal so that Harry Kane could become an important member of the team again. Uh, Not that he wasn't already, but when your defense and your midfield is going great, and by the way, I've only watched like 30 some games, so I really can't say that much. But I feel like that is a good amount of soccer. I mean, obviously a lot of people watch way more soccer than me, but it's not like I'm one game in anymore. But your midfield and your defense are amazing, and then your number one striker up at the front is missing absolutely everything. That's insane. And so they had to break that curse. So congratulations to England for breaking that curse and winning their group. Uh, I very well done. I was very hyped when they scored that first goal, and very hyped for Harry Kane when he scored a goal. Because I'm sure in the back of his head he was wondering if he had been cursed. Because a lot of people aren't superstitious. I am, and I know that they probably did legitimately curse Harry Kane, which is so fucked because this is as important as the World Cup is. This is a game where you kick around a ball into a net and then play pretend hurt. So you shouldn't wish evil upon people because of that. And because of that, I think karma ended up biting Ghana in the ass on that one because it was 2-1 Croatia. And Modric looked really good. He did look kind of old, but he looked good. And Ghana, I just wanted Ghana to lose this one. I'm not rooting against them in the World Cup, but they just needed a little bit of karma for cursing England. Not because I love England, but because why are you cursing people over soccer? Absolutely ridiculous, absolutely immature. Croatia beat them today, and that was good. But I'm glad Ghana made it through. I feel like they're so exciting. I feel like they're very strong physically. I feel like their crowd is very hype. So I'm glad that they made it through, but I'm also glad that Croatia beat them. And yeah, so moving on to Colombia versus Portugal, a whole lot of nothing. I mean, that being said, it was a fun lot of nothing. They fought the entire time. There was so much back and forth. There were lots of big barrages from both teams on the other team's goal, and nothing ever went in. And it didn't feel like Harry Kane's curse. It felt like, the defense was doing a good job. And that both defenses of the teams were, I felt like Colombia's defense was a little bit stronger. I think if the game had gone on 5, 6 minutes longer, Colombia might have scored eventually. But Portugal did not score. We got Ronaldo from the first game, not the second game, which is, what I said the opposite would happen. So L me, but W Colombia, and good job Portugal making it through. I feel like Portugal probably doesn't consider it as good because they got second place, and Ronaldo's not necessarily being as effective as I assume he has been. But good job Colombia. Then also DR Congo versus Uzbekistan, 3-1. And Congo was just the better team here. Congo played hard and they did a good job. And Uzbekistan would have had to score 6 goals to and have Congo score none to win and to advance to the next stage. And so if they hadn't done that, Congo would have. been out and Uzbekistan would have been out regardless of being in third place. So I guess it's good for the teams involved in that Congo won potentially. I don't know. Congo was also beating the shit out of Uzbekistan in the first half. Like every time I looked at the TV, somebody from Uzbekistan was laying on the ground, and yet Uzbekistan still got a goal in the first half. So good job, Uzbekistan. But Congo won and they moved on. So congratulations to Congo. Algeria versus Austria, I'll talk about last. Jordan versus Argentina. I thought Messi was going to play. That was ridiculous, but then he did end up playing, and he scored a goal. He scored the goal where they set up the human wall. I still don't know what this is called. The human wall, and then but he just kicked around it, and the goalie basically didn't move. Uh, why didn't he move? I mean, I assume it was just like he wasn't expecting it, maybe, but he should have moved. The goal wouldn't have gone in. The ball would not have gone in if he had moved. I mean, I don't think he was thinking about that. I think he just thought like maybe if I don't move, like the ball will be intimidated by me. I don't know. Maybe his thing was like an eye contact thing with like Bears, but who's to say? He didn't move. Jordan lost 1-3. I think most people thought Jordan would lose, and they did. But they scored a goal, and that made the Jordan crowd really hyped. Jordan was already out of the World Cup, so they had nothing really to gain here besides, score some goals, win. They didn't win, but they did score a goal. So congratulations to Jordan. Argentina looked very impressive, looked dominant almost the entire time. Messi came on and did his thing, so good job, Messi. And yeah, just overall, I felt like it was the exact game that I expected, plus a goal from Jordan. Then Algeria versus Austria finishes out the day. I mean, well, they finished at the same time basically, but Algeria versus Austria finished like a minute and a half later, and it was an exciting minute and a half. Back and forth the entire game. If either one of them won, the other one would be eliminated, and if they draw, both of them would make it into the knockout rounds, and Iran would be eliminated. So it was back and forth the whole time. I can only imagine Iran was watching, hoping that one of them would win. And in the extra time, it was 2-2 at the start of that. And for about 2.5, 3 minutes, they kind of just passed the ball around, which was great, good for them. But then Algeria got in their heads like, now's our chance to score. We want to win. And they did. They dashed in and they shot the ball and it worked for them. So good job, Algeria. But then, as the Algerians are celebrating, the Austrians are upset. Austria, in legitimately what must have been the last 15 seconds of the game. I mean, I don't know how they decide how the extra time works, but it was going over how much they said 4 minutes and we were in like 4:30. It doesn't matter. The point is, Austria in like the last second put in another guy. They had time to run one play, and it was kind of Hail Mary. And that guy they put in, he touched the ball one time. It was a header into the goal, and it hit the goal. And it was legitimately the second to last or third to last touch of the game, and it tied it back up to 3-3. So Algeria and Austria both go through. Very exciting last couple minutes and very exciting game in general. And Iran ends up going home. As I said, the teams that go home are Uruguay, Scotland, Iran, and South Korea. Those are the third place teams that go home, not the fourth place teams. All the fourth place teams went home. And yeah, that was the day. It was a good day mostly. Some games were not as good as others, but some games, like no game was like hype the entire time. Mostly like some Algeria versus Austria pretty much was. Um, and like I said, like I really enjoyed some things, but it's really like certain parts that were like really, really good. So big thumbs up from me on today, and I will see you guys tomorrow for two videos. I have one that's coming out that will be just a prediction for South Africa versus Canada, like I always do. And then I will also have a full hour and a half bracketology podcast coming out tomorrow where we break down the entire bracket and make our predictions for all 31 matches. And it'll be good. It'll be hype. So I will see you guys then. Have a great night. Yeah, bye bye.